Welcome, everyone, to Riding with the Marks. I'm Matt.
I'm Shane.
I remembered it this time. Got it all.
Yeah.
So we're just leaving the theater. We just got out from seeing the third installment in the M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong trilogy.
Yep. And
Glass.
And the MSU, M. Night Shyamalan, MNSU universe. I don't know.
I like the MSU.
Yeah.
The M. Shyamalan universe.
Yep, exactly.
So a lot of, I don't know if controversy would be the right word over this one, but the scores were kind of low for this one.
Yeah. Yet another one that got panned on Rotten Tomatoes. You know, one I guess that you should go into with an open mind. You know, again, critics seem to be pretty disconnected. Yeah. So. Yeah,
disconnected. I don't even think is the right word. I don't. To me, this is just being jackass.
Yeah.
Like the movie. Yeah. Is there issues with the movie? Yeah. There's some give or take with the movie for the most part, but really, it's almost very similar to the pacing of Unbreakable, and it's almost exactly what I said when we did our Unbreakable review that nobody's listened to, is that movie today would not do very well because it's a slow build. It's there's not much to it, you know. It's a character piece movie, and that's what this is. It's a character piece movie.
I think you can see a little bit of evolution in what M. Night Shyamalan was trying to accomplish with this movie. He threw in a little bit more humor where Split and Unbreakable don't have any. So, or, you know, there's moments of levity as you had mentioned in our Unbreakable review. But in this one, there are some moments that you could tell, you know, they want you to laugh at. Coloration's a little bit different. But there are still a lot of great, iconic M. Night Shyamalan shots. The way that he films, I really enjoy, you know, his little touch of flavor, his salt and pepper that he likes to put on his films, where you could shoot someone looking at a computer a certain way, but you know what, he's going to change it up and he's going to shoot it a little bit differently, and I really enjoy that. I like when you can sense the director's style in it.
The director's presence is important, and especially in this one, because I just love, it's just fine details, very fine details. It takes time to breathe on a lot of shots. It gives you a moment to look at what's going on. And, you know, there's just, you know, I don't want to say simple movie, but it's a slow build. I mean, they have a nice little hurrah in the beginning, and it's just slowly from there. And I don't know, I really, really liked it. I really liked it. There is one element to the ending, which is what a major complaint was in those reviews that we did see. There is one element to the ending that Shane and I were talking about. When we get into the spoiler review, we'll obviously be able to talk about it more there. But there is this one element that I kind of feel is stupid to it. But other than that, I really like it. I really, really like the movie.
Yeah, I thought there were aspects of this film that I really enjoyed. Obviously, the acting, fucking phenomenal. If James McAvoy picks up right where he left off with Split, does a fantastic job. I really enjoyed a lot of those aspects. There are some holes, I feel like, in this movie where you just have to make a lot of assumptions and of how certain things are pieced together, or where the character is at this, you know, point in the evolution, I guess, especially from Unbreakable to now. You know, different things have taken place, and you almost are kind of filling in the pieces yourself, with just assumptions. So, but overall, yeah, I thought it was a good movie. I guess kind of tied the bow on this, and that's something that Matt and I will discuss a little bit more in our spoiler talk, as far as where this could go, or it could be the end. That's kind of where the ending left it, I guess. I
feel like this, from what the ending was, it's a definitive trilogy. I don't think there's anything more going on after this. I think it got its point across. It ended in its own way, and I think that's the end of this trilogy. I don't think he'll go anything. He might venture into a whole different story and something similar as an aspect, but I think that's pretty much the rousing conclusion of this trilogy. The music, I want to kind of talk about the tone. I mean, not necessarily a score that really blows you away, but the way noises and sound was used, especially when the Beast is around, and when Elijah's doing his monologues, and like there's these touches to like the environment. I guess environmental sound would be the word I'm looking for. Yeah, holy shit, man! The noises, the little tweaks and stuff they're doing, the door closing noises that are just going on. You know, it's freaking phenomenal. I loved it. You just get this atmosphere in the movie, not only with M. Night Shyamalan's visual style with his shooting, the way he shoots stuff, but you get submersed into the sounds of the movie as well. Yeah, I was loving it. I don't know why. I was just like fucking enjoying the hell out of it.
Yeah, it's very similar to, he picks up right where he left off with, you know, Unbreakable and Split. Just does, it's nothing, as Matt said, super crazy. There are some moments where the score is awesome, but there's a lot of sounds and a lot of things that are just kind of added to the moment to really make you feel, you know, what's going on. And yeah, so again, well done. Not sure who composed this one. Maybe we'll look it up prior to our spoiler talk. But yeah, there was some great stuff in this. Again, dialogue really well done. Sorry for the bright green lights. Just really reflecting. But yeah, the dialogue was great. I guess don't go in and expecting a movie like similar to Split and Unbreakable. Don't go into this thinking that it's gonna have some crazy crescendo of like, yeah, you know, where there's guns firing and, you know, all sorts of shit going off. It fits right in line with that. And I like the different taste to a film like this, as opposed to, you know, what we're accustomed to getting with, whether it's Fox or Sony or Disney or Warner Brothers or whoever's producing these movies. I think M. Night Shyamalan has his own take, his own unique camera angles to even fight sequences, different things like that I think he does a great job.
Yeah, the action, I mean, there's some action, and it stepped up a little bit from Unbreakable. It's really, I mean, there's a chokehold in Unbreakable. Right. So there's some good little action, but it's still grounded. It's still really, really grounded. It's not like it's really a giveaway, but it kind of just reminded me of, like, think as grounded as, like, Bane from The Dark Knight Rises. Like, but maybe even a little bit tamed down. Like, that's the level of, like, shit you're dealing with right there. And I thought it made sense. It just made sense. And there's a little bit extra question that's asked in this that starts making you think, or at least making the characters think that, you know, maybe their world isn't what they think it is. I don't know if I like that element, but it works for the characters in the movie, but I don't know if it really works for the people watching the movie, because we've been, you know, we've been submersed into this universe and we've seen what happens. Right. So it's hard for us to believe that this person's gonna be able to convince them that, you know, hey, maybe you're not superheroes. Right. And they start believing it, and she's giving these reasons why, and you're like, okay, well, I guess that makes sense. That really does make sense if that's true. But I mean, I don't know. It's hard to.
That's something when we get into the spoiler talk that I'll talk about a lot more, because I agree. I think that was maybe Shyamalan's way of kind of trying to direct you in put you in one direction and then shift it the other direction. You know, you could tell he attempts to do that a couple different times. I feel like that's what this was. Everyone knows, if you watch any of the trailers, that, you know, they end up basically in an asylum mental hospital, and that's where large part of the movie takes place. And I don't know how well that part works, and I'll go into a little bit more details in spoiler talk. But yeah, I think that was one thing that kind of, I don't know, undecided on, I guess.
That's another thing too. Also, I feel like the trailer showed a little too much. Yeah. I only watched maybe one or two. I don't even know how many trailers were for this. I don't think I watched too many. I didn't watch any clips. I was trying my best to stay away. You know, a lot lately I tried my best to stay away from all that stuff. Yeah. But, you know, unfortunately, they showed enough to where you're like, okay, well, this happens, and you know where this is going to end up eventually, because it showed it in the trailer.
Yeah, I think based on how this story unfolded, the trailers kind of they revealed a little bit too much. They should have reined it in a little bit more. Maybe not even shown some of the stuff of like them in a mental hospital. Just I don't know, just teaser trailers. That's it.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I think showing them in the hospital is fine, but there's just some of the action elements that they try to produce kind of lead you up to where this is going, and I think that was where the faulty is. But you gotta put butts in seats, and just seeing a bunch of people sitting around a mental hospital talking, unfortunately in this day and age, it's not gonna put butts in seats. You need to entice people with something.
Exactly. Show a little bit more.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Show a little bit more. But the acting's great. It's a pretty solid movie, and I think actually it'll be a pretty enjoyable trilogy to watch. Like, sit down, watch Unbreakable, watch Split, and then watch this. I think would be a pretty sweet ass little trilogy to sit through.
It'd be a solid weekend. Yeah. Solid 3-day weekend.
I mean, it would. Yeah, I would enjoy it. Yeah. So, any negatives? Any more?
Not necessarily. I think we'll get a lot more into it with the spoiler talk. Touch on some details. I got to be honest. I'm to an extent. I'm still kind of processing this.
That's exactly the words we used when we walked out.
Yeah,
processing.
Was still trying to
Windows
figure
98.
Out. Yeah,
we're buffering.
Maybe even a little bit before that. A little bit of dial-up. But yeah, just still kind of trying to figure some things out. Some things that I enjoyed, some things that I didn't. And how it all worked. But I definitely think there are aspects of this movie that I would suggest going to see it in the theater. That maybe that's just me. I think the sound, some of the, obviously it's not going to be like a crazy action-packed, film like Aquaman or something like that, that'll blow you away. But I enjoyed, there were aspects of this film where I'm like, this is really cool with this awesome surround sound, the really cool screen. So yeah, I would definitely suggest it at a theater.
Yeah, if you've enjoyed the Split or Unbreakable movies, go see this. Unlike the girl when we were walking out, I saw Split, but I didn't see Unbreakable.
Yeah, so way to go.
Yeah, way to be 14.
Also, and this isn't spoilers, but Shyamalan incorporates Unbreakable in a fantastic way that I really enjoyed in this movie. I'll just kind of leave it at that. But he ties it together really nicely, and
I thought he did with both, but I know what you're talking about. I think I know what you're talking about.
He did. I mean, with both. But there were some really cool things where I'm like, wow, that's awesome that he incorporated that from Unbreakable that came out 19 years ago. So really well done. I enjoyed it.
Really, right now for me, at this moment of processing, and I'll think about it a little bit more, but right now there's only one major negative thing with the movie to me, and I'm still trying to work that out in my head, and maybe even come up with a solution is kind of what I'm trying to do. How do you incorporate everything else without this one element? So, yeah, and obviously we don't want to spoil much, or we don't want to try to spoil it all, honestly, because that would suck ass. So it's also very hard to talk about this movie without
without spoilers.
So yeah, it's definitely I think a must see. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it,
especially if you enjoyed Split and Unbreakable. If you didn't enjoy those, then fuck off.
Yeah, seriously, what's wrong with your life?
Right.
Anyway, so go check it out. It's got our seal of approval, whatever the hell that could mean.
Yep. The stamp.
All right, in case I don't see you.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. You're one of very few to make it to the end.
Yes, thank you very much.
Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to Comic Movie Marks Podcast and hit the notification bell. All these fucking YouTube channels say this shit, so I'm going to say it now.
Yes, it's perfect. And if you want to hear our full podcast, you can check out our podcast on iTunes or any other podcast subscription service.
Make sure you subscribe. Thanks again.